Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the chilling mystery behind the Conjuring Last Rites. Now, if you've already seen the film, you know it tells the story of the Smurl family haunting. But as with all Conjuring movies, Hollywood takes its fair share of liberties. And trust me, the real story is just as strange, if not stranger. So, what exactly did the movie leave out? Let's uncover the haunting details that never made it onto the big screen. In Last Rites, everything feels tightly packed into a neat timeline. From the cursed mirror to Judy Warren's visions, the film makes it seem like the entire nightmare took place in a few intense months. But in reality, the Smurl family dealt with these disturbances for over 12 years. They moved into their West Pittston, Pennsylvania home in 1973. By 1974, strange noises, foul smells, and odd electrical issues began. Over time, the activity grew, but for many years it was more of an eerie inconvenience than a full-blown horror movie scenario. It wasn't until the mid-1980s, more than a decade later, that things escalated to the point where they sought serious help. The Warrens didn't even get involved until 1986. So while the film amps up the action for pacing, the real Smurls endured slow burn terror for years before the case gained attention. The movie shows the Warrens as hesitant investigators, essentially pulled back into action only when their daughter Judy gets caught up in the cursed mirror storyline. It's dramatic, it's personal, and it makes for a good cinematic hook, but that's not how it went down. In real life, the Smurl family themselves reached out to Ed and Lorraine Warren. By the 1980s, the Warrens were already widely known thanks to their involvement in the Amityville case and others. The Smurls hoped the couple could help explain the strange activity that had plagued them for so long. When Lorraine visited the house, she reportedly sensed not just one presence, but 4 separate entities. That's a detail the movie leaves out entirely. Instead of a single mirror-based demon, the real story suggests a much more complicated haunting.
Made afraid to live is what it has come down to.
Last Rites doesn't shy away from terrifying imagery, levitations, violent shakes, and even moments where family members are thrown around. But compared to what the Smurls actually claimed, the movie still tones things down. Jack and Janet Smurl, the parents, described some of the most unsettling encounters. They reported being physically attacked by unseen forces in deeply personal and frightening ways. Out of caution for viewers, these details are softened on screen. Instead, Jack's ordeal is shown through paralysis and levitation, focusing on his emotional pain. Janet's experiences are also simplified. While she is shown enduring frightening visions and being terrified for her children, the real Janet claimed she was actually lifted and hurled across a room at one point. Something Last Rites skips entirely. The choice makes sense. These films aim to deliver scares without going into territory that would be too disturbing or difficult for mainstream audiences. Still, it means a huge part of the Smurls' account never made it into the movie.
There's an evil here. Something I've felt before.
One of the biggest changes in Last Rites is how the haunting wraps up. On screen, the Warrens face the evil head-on, risking their lives and ultimately restoring peace to the Smurl home. It's a satisfying conclusion, especially since this film is marketed as the grand finale of the Conjuring saga. But in real life, the Warrens didn't save the day. They investigated, they documented what the family experienced, and they even co-authored a book about the haunting. But their efforts didn't actually stop the activity. The Smurl family reportedly went through 3 attempted exorcisms on the property. Each time, the activity came back just as strong. And according to some sources, the Catholic Church never officially sanctioned any of these exorcisms in the first place, which adds even more debate to the story. So, if the Warrens didn't banish the spirits, who did? The true resolution came in 1986, when Reverend Joseph Adenizio, a local priest, stepped in. Unlike the movie's explosive showdown, Adenizio didn't perform dramatic rituals. Instead, he focused on long sessions of intense prayer. According to the Smurls, this finally weakened whatever was tormenting them. Even then, it wasn't a clean break. The family continued to experience smaller incidents, unexplained knocks, shadows moving across walls, and strange feelings in the home. But compared to what they'd endured for years, these occurrences were minor.
There's something in this home which has the intelligence to inflict physical and psychological harm upon this family.
This brings us to the big picture. The Conjuring Last Rites introduces a cursed mirror, ties the events to Judy Warren, and places the Warrens front and center as the heroes. It's great storytelling, the kind of high-stakes, emotionally driven plot that keeps audiences glued to their seats. But the real haunting was much messier. It was long, drawn out, filled with conflicting reports, and ended not with a dramatic showdown, but with quiet perseverance and prayer. The movie trims, reshapes, and heightens events to fit into 2 hours of horror spectacle. So, What do you think? Did The Conjuring Last Rites do the Smurl family's story justice, or did Hollywood oversimplify a haunting that was far stranger than fiction? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit like, share this with your fellow horror fans, and subscribe for more deep dives into the real stories behind your favorite scary movies. Because sometimes, the truth really is scarier than what you see on screen.
This thing in your house is a demon.